Welcome back to AI Verdict. Okay, let's just get right into it. If you're still writing these huge, super complex prompts for your AI, you are probably working way harder, not smarter. We have spent months putting Google's Gemini 3 through its paces, and the verdict is in. It is absolutely time for a new game plan.
And here's the thing that might just blow your mind. All that careful prompt engineering you spent so long learning, the super long, detailed instructions and formatting rules you've been stuffing into every request, well, it's not just a waste of time. It's very likely making your results worse. I mean, just look at this comparison. It says it all, right? The old way, on the left, feels like you're trying to write code, getting every little detail of the syntax just right. The new way? It's just a simple, direct request. That's because these new models get it. They understand context and structure all on their own, so you don't have to explain what JSON even is anymore. So what gives? Why have the rules changed so much so fast? It's because we need a completely new way of thinking about this. We are moving from treating AI like an old-school command line to treating it like a really capable colleague. Think of it as the human assistant model. I mean, you wouldn't walk up to a human colleague and explain how to read a report or the mechanics of making a bulleted list, right? No, you just tell them what you need. And that's the new mindset. You're collaborating with a smart partner that already gets the subtext and the end goal. Okay, so if we're throwing the old complicated rulebook out the window, what's the new one? Well, it's a beautifully simple approach we're calling the Clarity First framework. And that's it. Seriously, this is the entire framework. Every single great prompt can be broken down into these three simple parts. First, just clearly say the task, what you want it to do. Second, tell it the input, the document, the image, whatever you're giving it. And third, specify the output you want back. That's the whole shebang, simple, clear, and direct. And here's what that looks like in action. The new way is just so clean. State the task, specify the output. Notice you don't even need to say in the document I just gave you because you're treating it like a collaborator. It remembers the context of your conversation. You don't have to spell out every single little step anymore. But how is this all even possible? What's the secret sauce that makes this super simple approach actually work? Well, the answer is Gemini 3's absolutely massive new multimodal capabilities. It's not just a text machine anymore. This number right here, this is the key, a 1 million token context window. This is the game changer. It's the reason the old rules just don't apply. It can process a whole novel, a stack of research papers, or a bunch of spreadsheets all at once. It sees the entire picture, so you don't have to hold its hand. And this huge context works across all kinds of different media. We're talking about dropping in 200 pages of lecture notes and just asking for a study guide. You can upload a chart and ask it to analyze the actual pixels, not just what is this chart, but what does that little red slice actually represent. With the Pro tier, you can give it 2 hours of video and ask for a summary of what was said between, say, minute 15 and minute 22. And with Gemini Canvas, you can ask it to create visuals like infographics or event posters. It literally sees, reads, and hears what you give it. All right, so you've got the basic framework down. That's the foundation. Now, let's level up and get into some expert-level techniques to really push this thing to its limits. Here are 5 killer tips. First, prime the model with a persona. Start with something like, act as an expert data scientist, and it'll frame its whole analysis that way. Second, for anything complex, break it down into numbered steps. This is fantastic for coding. You can say, step 1, write the code. Step 2, test it. Step 3, debug any errors. Third, to get more accurate results, ask it to explain its reasoning step by step. Fourth, for a really balanced take, have it simulate a debate, argue the pros and cons of an idea before giving you a final recommendation. And last but so important, iterate. The first answer is just a draft. Refine it, ask for a different tone, ask for examples. The second or third try is often where the magic happens. And that's the whole point, really. The model remembers what you've been talking about. You can ask follow-up questions without repeating everything. You're building an ongoing dialogue, refining ideas together, just like with a person. Okay, now for the reality check, because as powerful and incredible as this all sounds, it is not magic. And to give you the real verdict, we have to be honest about its limitations. So let's talk numbers. On factual questions, the model is about 72% accurate. Now, that's really, really good. State of the art, in fact. But let's be crystal clear about what that means. It means there's almost a 1 in 3 chance that it's giving you an error or just completely making something up. And this leads us to what is probably the single most important takeaway you need to remember. You absolutely must verify critical facts. Do not treat its output as gospel, especially if you're making important decisions. Use it as an incredibly powerful assistant, but remember, you are always the final editor. And there are a few other key warnings to keep in your back pocket. First, privacy. Unless you're on a paid enterprise plan, don't upload confidential business data or personal secrets, because that data could be used for training. Second, safety. Be really careful with those agentic features that can actually do things like send emails or schedule meetings. Always review before you hit approve. And finally, just be aware of bias. It's trained on the internet, so it can sometimes reflect the biases found there. So, here's our final verdict. The days of writing these ridiculously complex, over-engineered prompts, they're over. They're officially behind us. The new name of the game is clarity, context, and conversation. When you start thinking of your AI as a highly capable colleague, it just changes everything. It's no longer about giving perfect commands. It's about asking the right questions and having a smart conversation. So the real question is, how will you change your conversation? If you found this AI verdict helpful, do us a favor and hit subscribe for more no hype